God really spoke to me the other day, and he said, the reason why you are still single is because you haven't reached the level that I need you to be on for you to be wife ready. What's up? It's Johanna with God is Glamorous, where we learn how to live our best lives through Jesus Christ. And today, I have a really intense and much needed word for all my Christian women who are single. I believe that God really dropped this word into my spirit. He really convicted me, and I believe that he also wants me to share what he gave me to you, to any woman who is single, who is desiring to get married. I believe that God is really calling us to really do some self-reflection and to really dig deeper and to ask God to reveal some of the ways in which we can improve. Because I think that a lot of the time, we as Christian women, as we seek God and as we pray and ask God for a husband or pray over a husband, we do that so much that we oftentimes forget that we need prayer, that we need to seek God and ask God to reveal the flaws that we have within ourselves, to reveal what it is that we need to improve on. And God really spoke to me the other day, and he said, the reason why you are still single is because you haven't reached the level that I need you to be on for you to be wife ready. Although I've called you to be a wife, although I've ordained you to be a wife, you're not there just yet. And there are still some things that you need to work on and that you need to improve on. And although that hurt, it really put things into perspective for me. So I want to share some ways in which we as single women, as Christians, can improve on some things that we really need to highlight and focus before I believe that God will send us our husbands. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it. So the first thing that I want to talk about is the fact that we need to put on our mask before we begin to put on someone else's mask. So a lot of the time as Christian women who are single, who are desiring to get married, I think one of our biggest flaws is that we focus so much on praying for our future husband and covering him and asking God to send him that we fail and we neglect to ask God to develop us, to work on us, to strengthen us within the areas that we need to improve on. So the comparison that God gave me is similar to what the flight attendants tell you to do before taking off on a plane. They give you these whole safety instructions, and they specifically say, before you put a mask on someone else, you need to make sure that your mask is on first. A lot of the times as Christian women, we spend so much time trying to put that mask on our future husbands that we forget that we got to put that mask on us first. We spend so much time praying for our future husband, asking God to send him, putting that mask on him, that we forgot to say, hey God, expose my flaws, expose the areas where I need to improve, search my heart, tell me the things that I need to work on. Psalm 26:2 says, test me, Lord, try me, examine my heart and my mind. Instead of constantly praying over your future husband, go to God and say, God, test me, try me, examine my heart, examine my mind, show me the areas that I need to improve on, show me the areas that I need to work on. Because if we constantly pray for our future husband day after day, year after year, but we aren't developing ourselves and becoming the women that God has called us to be, God's never going to send him. So stop focusing so much on praying him up and making sure he's covered that you neglect the fact that you need to make sure that you are within the level that you need to be on. You cannot put on someone else's mask before you put on your own first. So it's not just enough to pray for your future husband. You need to pray that God examines you and tests you and reveals the areas within your life that you need to improve on. So God also led me to look at the Proverbs 31 woman, but he challenged me to look at this passage from a different perspective. Oftentimes when we read the passage of the Proverbs 31 woman, we focus so much on her character, what she does, that we neglect to look at her husband. The Bible mentions her husband, and God challenged me to look at the Proverbs 31 woman's husband and to examine the things that he needed that he got from her. So he led me to look at Proverbs chapter 31, verse 11, where it says, her husband can safely trust her, and she will greatly enrich his life. And I've often skimmed over this, and I'm like, my husband can trust me. I'm super faithful. I'm not going to go out and cheat. But no, it's not just about trusting within the area of fidelity. It's trusting within all areas of his life. Can he trust you with the finances? Can he trust you with how you're able to handle conflict? Can he trust you to keep very intimate things within your relationship private? Can he trust you not just when it comes to fidelity, but can he trust you within all areas of your relationship? One of the things that God revealed to me, and I'm just going to be completely honest and put myself on the spot here. One of the things that God revealed to me is that I need to work on the area of how to handle conflict, because what God revealed to me is the fact that he showed me that I'm a runner. And he showed me that whenever I get into a relationship and things go south and there tends to be conflict, I'm just like washing my hands. I'm done with it. I'm like, nope, I had this before. I'm not doing this again. One of my flaws being I'm going to unfollow, I'm going to block, we're not talking anymore. And God revealed to me, and he said, if you continue to be a runner, you're never going to get married, because that's not what your husband's going to need. Your husband's going to need you to sit there, talk it out, and make it work. And he doesn't need you unfollowing him every time you get mad. And that hurt me. I'm not going to lie, but I needed to hear that, because I'm like, you're right. Like, marriage is a forever thing. It's not like if I get mad at my husband, I can't just go sitting and follow him and unblock. I can't do that. And although I have been hurt from past relationships, I can't take my pain and I can't take on the way I handle conflict and within my own flesh. I have to do it in a way that's biblical and within a way that honors God. So this goes back to the fact that the reason why the Proverbs 31 woman was wived up was because her husband trusted her, not just within the area of fidelity, but within all areas of their relationship. Finances, communication, the ability to handle conflict, the ability to keep things private, all of that. So ask God to examine your heart. Ask God to try you and to test you and to reveal the areas that you need to work on, and to ask God, Lord, if I'm single, if you haven't sent my husband yet, show me the areas that I need to work on. Convict my heart and show me so that I can ultimately improve on these things. So back to this verse in Proverbs chapter 31, verse 11, it not only says that the husband of the Proverbs 31 woman can safely trust her, it also says that she will greatly enrich his life. So in this version, the verse says she will greatly enrich his life, but in other versions it says he will have no lack of gain. Hold on to that. No lack of gain. So a lot of women are out here praying for their husband, but not even realizing that they right now are a liability rather than an asset. So while a lot of women are out here praying for their future husbands, they're also forgetting that they are drowning in $200,000 worth of student loan debt. They are forgetting that their account is overdrawn. They are forgetting that they don't have a savings account. They are forgetting that they haven't launched that business or that ministry that God has called them to start. So while they're praying for a future husband, they're not even realizing that if they go into a marriage, they're not going to be an asset. They're going to be a liability. We are called to greatly enrich our husbands' lives. We are called to be their safe place. We are called to add value to them. We are not called to decrease their net worth as soon as they marry us. We are called to build their net worth. We are called to add value to them. So while we're praying for our husband, let's also pray that God, you work on my finances, that God, you properly heal me from my past relationships, that God, you help me to learn how to handle conflict, that you help me to become the woman that my husband needs. God, renew me, restore me, search me, try me, renew a clean heart in me. Psalm 51 verse 10, it says, create in me a new heart, O Lord, and renew a right spirit within me. Asking God to create a new heart and renew a right spirit in you that is comparable to your husband. that will add value to your husband. So ladies, that's all I wanted to talk about. I know that as women, we desire to get married, we desire to start a family, but we have to ask ourselves, if we've been single this long, if things are not working, perhaps it's not him, perhaps it's us. And if it's us, Lord, reveal it, show us, and help us to make that correction. So my challenge to you is say that prayer. Get into your prayer closet or your private place of worship and say, God, reveal to me what I need to know, expose my flaws, expose the things I need to work on, and help me become a better woman who will add value and enrich my husband's life and not take away from it. Okay? I know this was a bit harsh. It was harsh for me, but I'm better because of it. All right, so that's all I have for you. Please let me know if this has helped you. Let me know if you have any questions or anything in the comments. And other than that, I will talk to you soon. Stay glamorous.